Over the last thousands of years, there have been probably thousands of sitcoms. And despite how different each sitcom is from the other, they all have one thing in common. The characters gotta hang out somewhere. And today, I'm going to decide which of those hangout spots would be the best to hang out in. Why? I have no idea. Today's ranking is going to be very structured and planned out. And by that I mean I'm making all of this up as I go, and it's just going to be based on vibes. First vibes is Shaw's Bar from Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Brooklyn Nine-Nine is a sitcom about members of the 99th Precinct of the Brooklyn Police Department as they solve crimes and live life. It's a pretty standard sitcom, but one of the locations is Shaw's Bar. The characters in Brooklyn Nine-Nine go to Shaw's Bar a lot, actually, to celebrate good news, to celebrate bad news, when Rosa wants to sit and drink in silence.
You like it?
Not at all.
You can leave.
Not a chance.
But would I want to hang out there? I mean, it's cool. It has a cool aesthetic. It seems like a fun place to be. But there's nothing really remarkable about it in either a good or a bad direction, which I think is by design. It seems like the creators of the show wanted a place that seemed very lived in and grounded, and they succeeded. But that means it's not very interesting in terms of flair. So I think my experience there would largely depend on who I'm there with. Plus, I don't drink. It's a bar. They don't really seem to have anything non-alcoholic to partake in, so it seems like a very mixed bag in terms of experiences. So I think this has to go in C tier. It's just fine. Nothing great, nothing bad, just fine. Next up, Maximo's from Zoe's Extraordinary Playlist. It follows a young programmer named Zoe, who after being stuck in an MRI machine during an earthquake, can hear everyone's thoughts via songs that the people are singing to her. It's a weird show, but it's fun. I like it. And in the second season of Zoe's Extraordinary Playlist, the show that has the hardest name to say over and over again, two characters named Max and Mo start a restaurant called Maximo's. I like their names. Basically, you order food from a restaurant through a delivery app, but instead of having them deliver it to your house, they deliver it to this restaurant where you eat it there with friends that are eating food from other restaurants. It's basically a food court, but instead of having restaurants in it, they tell you to get it yourself, to deliver it from somewhere else and eat it here. They also have a bar so you can order drinks from there while you eat food from not there. It seems like a weird concept, but it might be fun. I mean, it'd be an interesting way to hang out.
Fruit salad, I love you. Not you, honeydew.
That's really hurtful.
Hi! How's it going, everyone?
The architecture is cool. It's a very interesting building. They've added some art to it. It seems like a fun place to hang out, but I think a lot like Shaw's, it would be determined by what food I'm eating and who I'm there with, which isn't really in their control. So it's largely the same thing as Shaw's, except here I do get food. I have to order it, but at least there is food. I would feel weird if I brought a Subway sandwich into Shaw's, but if I brought a Subway sandwich into Maximo's, it might be okay. So this is probably B tier, at least for now, because it's mostly neutral, but there is something going for it. It might just be high C, but we only have so many, so I don't know if we'll need that. So B for now. Next up, Troy and Abed's Apartment from Community. Community is a sitcom following students that go to Greendale Community College, and the stuff they do, which sounds like a very normal sitcom, it's not. It's one of the most bizarre sitcoms on this list. And I think I actually changed my mind, because the apartment is where they hang out the most if they're actually like planning an event. But they spend a lot more time in the study room. They even call it out in the show that they just go there to hang out. They don't always study. So I think that I'm changing my location pick in terms of what counts as the hangout space of that show to the study room. And in terms of a hangout place, it's not great. I mean, there's a table, some chairs, blue walls, but that's about it. Also, it's in a college that I don't go to. I don't know if I'd be allowed in there. Maybe if I made friends with the dean, he'd let me in, but it'd still be a weird place to hang out. Especially since the main characters of the show are always reserving it so they can use it. So I probably wouldn't even be allowed in, even if I were allowed on the grounds.
My lady.
My lord.
Hey, baby.
Hi, sweetie.
This is a great location. It's iconic, but probably not a cool place to hang out in terms of a good hangout space if you're not already going there. And I'm not, so this probably goes in D tier. It's not terrible, but it's not good either. Next, The Neighborhood from The Good Place. The Good Place is a sitcom that follows different people who have all died and found out that they are in the Good Place. Now, the Good Place is a location that's modeled after a lot of European small villages.
The Good Place is divided into distinct neighborhoods. Each one contains exactly 322 people who have been perfectly selected to blend together into a blissful, harmonic balance.
It's a very walkable, kind of small town-ish. Depending on the season, there are different shops. There's a froyo stand once, which is great. This seems like a great place to be. Lots of greenery, lots of seating. It seems like a really nice place to be. But I'm not going to spoil the show. But the conditions around living there, especially in the first season, would probably mean that I don't want to live in that neighborhood. It might not be very fun. So, yeah, this is F tier. This is not good. I do not want to live here. But in season 4, for those of you who have seen the show, when the neighborhood gets a green door instead of the normal door, then it's great. All the features that I talked about, none of the drawbacks. I'd argue it's perfect. There isn't like a good meeting place. There's not a bar or a cafe or anything, but there's plenty of seating. There's lawns. You can hang out anywhere there. I think it'd be fun. I think season 4 is an S tier. Season 1, yeah, F tier. F tier. And last but not least, we've got Central Perk from Friends. Friends is a show about people who are friends living. It's pretty much that simple, but that's why it's so charming. I love Friends. That's why I'm wearing a Friends shirt. I've watched the entire 10-season run 3 times, and I'm going to watch it many more times, believe me. Now, the characters in Friends love to hang out at this coffee shop called Central Park. It's near their apartment. Kind of a lot.
That's weird. I don't think my boss likes me either.
I don't think mine likes me either.
Maybe it's a universal thing.
Yeah, or maybe it's because you're all hanging around here at 11:30 on a Wednesday.
But would I want to hang out there? Yeah, I would. Seems cool. I don't love coffee, but I do drink it. And they also have things like muffins and scones. And I do think they have other drinks other than coffee, so it may not be a full restaurant, but that's not what it's supposed to be. There is stuff for me to have there. It's a cafe. Plus, the aesthetic is very unique. They have the art, and it feels kind of antique while also being up to date. They swap out the art every so often. People there seem nice. It seems centrally located. I don't know exactly where they live, but it seems like it's not too far out of the way, but it feels like a very small town thing. Much like Maximo's, they also have musical performances that are varying in quality, but that seems fun. That seems like a unique selling point. And while I may never get to sit on that orange couch because the characters and Friends have always reserved it, there are those tables behind them that maybe it's just nice to sit in. Maybe this is my left of the show talking, but it seems like a really cool place to be. And it seems like a place that is very unified in concept and that I would like being in. I almost exclusively, when I hang out with my friends, it's always in a coffee shop. So this is probably in line. This is probably the one I'm most likely to go to in real life if it existed, which it does, but differently. However, I don't think it's as good as a whole neighborhood we can walk. So probably A tier in terms of how cool it would be. I could probably be convinced to switch The Good Place and Friends because it's more realistic to say let's hang out at the coffee shop than it is to say let's go to this neighborhood. But I don't know. I still think that the neighborhood from The Good Place, in the abstract at least, it would provide more opportunities. We could go there more often and still have stuff to do. We could swap out exactly where we go in the neighborhood. Whereas Central Park, you walk out and it's just New York. And you could do things, but it's kind of the same stuff. I don't know. It feels right. And this means I have one in every tier. And that makes me happy. So this is the end of the tier list. So, our final rankings. In the S tier, we've got The Good Place Season 4. In A tier, we've got Friends. In B tier, we've got Zoe's Extraordinary Playlist. In C tier, we've got Brooklyn Nine-Nine. In D tier, we have Community. And in F tier, we have The Good Place Season 1. Do you agree with these? Do you disagree with these? Is there a show I should have included? Is there one of these that I should not have included? Let me know in the comments. Or don't. This is the end of the video. I didn't write an outro, so pretend that I said something insightful. Bye.